जय श्री माता,
जय श्री माता,
जय श्री माता,
जय श्री माता.
We are in search of the God or the divine, whatever we call, but no one could explain what it is or what he or she is. This search has begun thousands of years back, because not only it's our experience, it's the experience of everyone, that everyone feels, that everyone knows, that whether you believe it or not, you accept it or not, but one thing is sure, that there is something which manages and directs our life. Because whatever may be your plan, you cannot execute it 100%, because there is something vital which plays a very important role in all our lives. Then what is that? That was the search that has taken place long years back, or thousands of years back, that when the mankind has started doing all these things, that's what they know. There is something. They cannot see it, they cannot taste it, they cannot touch it, and even the mind cannot conceive it. But they know there is something. What is that something which is playing in our life? This experience of all throughout the journey of the humankind, the mankind. They went in search of this. Then they could not get anything, because it is, you cannot conceive it by your five sense organs, or not even through mind. Then what they did? They prostrated. Oh, it is there. You are there. That is why it is called as the God or the divine. That one which you cannot conceive through your mind or intellect, which cannot you do anything with your five sense organs, but it is there, that is most powerful, which plays a vital role in our life, and that is called as the divine. They prostrated and said, you are there. Okay. In the beginning of this journey, there was no name and the form at all. That energy or the power which is omnipresent, which is everywhere there, and which plays a vital role in each one of life. Then the search started. How can we reach that power, or can we make use of this power in our daily life? That was the search had begun. In fact, the real scientists are our rishis. The main focus was how to find out that and how to reach. They conducted many experiments on this, and these are called as the divine experiments. This search was going on. Even today the search is going on. Even the artificial intelligence cannot say what is God. It cannot define and it cannot say anything about it. Whatever it tells, it may be the presumptions or the assumptions as we do also. But the search is they went in search. How best we can make use of this divine power in our daily life, which plays a very important role in our life. Can we make use of this in our daily life? That search had begun, and later on, after a long period, even the mind could not conceive anything. Then the name and forms had come. Actually, the name and forms are not the real divine, it's a representation of what we have in our mind. Then only the name and form had come, like Shiva, Parvati, Narayana, Lakshmi, Shirdi Sai Baba, or something, Durga, Lalita, are all the names and the forms, but they are only the representing that. Because mind cannot conceive anything without a name and a form. That's the, I cannot say it is a drawback, but it's the characteristic of the mind that without an object, that is without a name and a form, it cannot conceive anything. That's the truth. That is the truth. That is why a name and form is given, but that name and form itself is not that. They are also known. They went in search of that. What is that? What is that? What is that? After a long time, over the thousands of years, they could not get anything, but they know there is something. Then they try to analyze what it is. Before making use of that power, they try to analyze it. What is it? How we can represent it? That came to their mind. Then they try to represent that cosmic power in their own fashion and in their own way with the geometrical representations by using the point, the triangles, the circles and the squares. They wanted to try to represent that power, the cosmic power, which is there omnipresent in this universe. They wanted to represent. They made a hard effort, not just one or two making drawings like that. After penance for a long years of spiritual path, they could able to represent that power by using the geometrical representation like the point, the triangles, the squares and also the circles, and they did it, and that power is represented with the geometrical power, and it is called as Sri Chakra. Sri Chakra is the representation or the manifestation of that power which is responsible for the creation, sustain and the destruction of that. They wanted to represent it. Why they wanted to represent it and what it is, they wanted to know. What is that? What it is. Then the human intellect start researching it, what it is, what it is. They could be able to find it that not by reading the books or not by the intellect, but it is behind the intellect or the imaginations or the mind. They could able to find it, try to find it. They could able to conclude like this. There was one power that is Nirguna Nirakara, that is without a name or a form. That power is there without a name and form, and that name and form wanted to look itself in the different forms. This also you can look, if you go to the Google and say Big Bang Theory, you will get all these things. This is the Big Bang Theory, he explains the same thing on the scientific basis and the scientific lines. It is on the logical basis they have represented. This is the scientific base, that is the logical base, but they are one and the same. Logical base, they have represented that on the logical base. When the Nirguna Nirakara Brahma, that was there one and only one, which there is no form or there is no characteristics as that. No name form. It want to see many. For that there was a great explosion. That is called the Big Bang Theory. There was a great explosion was there. Then only everything formed. That is what our Vedas also accept it and proclaim it. And as you know, when there is a great, even for the small things also, when there is explosion, there will be a vibration around it. Even with the crackers, you will know. For every explosion, there will be a vibration. Because there was a great explosion, then there was a great vibration. That vibration which has started then, it is continuing till now. When it will end, nobody knows. And that vibration, it is called as the Parashakti. And that vibration is called the Parashakti, that is the main source of power, that is called, it is called as Parashakti. And that Parashakti is responsible for the creation, sustain and the destruction and the whole formation of everything in everyday's life. That means to say that Parashakti is the great vibration that has started when there was a great explosion. Because of that, they wanted to represent it. That is why they used the point, the triangles, and also the circles and the square. They represented it through a geometrical figure and they called it as the Sri Chakra. It's the most powerful one. Sri Chakra is not the god. It is not the name and form of any god, but it is the representation of the cosmic power of the whole universe through the geometrical figures of that great vibration. That is because it is the ultimate power, that is why it is called as Parashakti. As you know, the power or the energy is neither male or not the female. It's a type of energy, that's all. But whenever by giving some form to this Parashakti, the ultimate power, then what form it should be given? Then the most attractive form is the feminine form. That is why they gave the form of a woman or a lady. That is a feminine form they gave it. The beautiful form or the woman. Then, for anything to go with that, we should have some relationship. Otherwise, we cannot move through it. Without a relationship, we cannot move. There must be some relationship. In everyday life, with the persons or the objects also, without relationship, you cannot move it. So they wanted to have some relationship with this form, which feminine form gave, which is the best and the most attractive and the most purest form of relationship. They found that it is the mother and the child. That is why they gave the form of they named or the found the relationship of the mother with that feminine form, and that is why it is called as Parashakti. When I say some utter Parashakti, you will find definitely the figure of Jaganmata in your mind. But in truth, Parashakti is neither male or not female. Only for the sake of our convenience to conceive the Parashakti, the form had been given. But human mind is not satisfied at all. It also wants to know as he or she looks. That is what is the human mind always want to trace. Then they started, okay, this geometrical representation is good. I could able to say, but what God is there? That Parashakti, that I know, Parashakti is, I could able to understand, but what is the name and form of that Parashakti? Because unless you give a correct name and the form, your mind cannot conceive at all. That is the tragedy, the truth. Once I have read it in Reader's Digest. One person in America, he has filed a suit against another person that he has abused him or scolded him as hippopotamus. And he has filed the case after 12 years. Then the judge called and asked him, you have filed a defamation case, that too after the 12 years, why? Then that man told, he had abused me like hippopotamus 12 years back, I know that. But I did not know what was hippopotamus. Recently I visited a zoo, I found that what is hippopotamus, then I felt what it is. That is why I am filing the case now. That means until and unless you conceive some name and form, your mind cannot conceive anything at all. Even in Sri Chakra also it happened. Yes, geometrical it is good, very nice, everything. But what is that? Who is the God there? The ultimate, what is that? Because you have to give some name and the form. Then they told, the lastly they have told, yes, because we have to represent the human form. They told, Shri Chakra Rajanilaya Shrimat Tripura Sundari Shri Shiva Shiva Shakti Rupini Lalitambika. That is what it came out. They told, Shiva Shiva Shakti Rupini Lalitambika. They uttered two things, Shiva and Shiva Shakti. Shiva Shiva Shakti Rupini, and the name is called the Lalita. They could have used the one word, either Shiva or Shakti, but why they used the two forms like Shiva, Shiva Shakti, Aikya Rupini? Why two? Because there's a great reason behind it. As you know, Shiva is the power and Shakti is the power in action. Power and the power in action. Shiva is the power and Shakti is the power in action. They are not two, they are one, but look like two. That is their representation. It is one, but it looks like two. You might have gone through, there are two things, the potential energy and kinetic energy. They are not two, they are one. Potential energy can be converted into kinetic energy and kinetic energy be converted into potential energy, but they are one and the same, but it looks like. Suppose you are having a bullet in your gun, it is called as Shiva. But when you trigger it and shoot it, then it becomes the Shakti. The same. There is no addition or there is no new thing at all, but the Shiva is the power and Shakti is the power in action. Put together, they have, and this is the representation, and that is called as Lalita, they represented. That is why the story of, that is not the story, that is the interpretation of the Sri Chakra, and also Sri Lalita has started and it has came, and that is why Lalita Sahasranama is not just the 1,000 names of Jagannatha, Sri Lalita, it's actually the representation of the whole power or the energy which is responsible for creation, sustaining, also destruction, and not only that, which is the cosmic power, what we call, is the represented by the name in the form called the Lalita. That is why then the Lalita now name and that is why the Lalita Sahasranama had come into truth. This is the one portion of the story of the humankind. But the another story is there. There's the most practical way of looking at the things. If this is the power, yes, we know that the divine is a power. Divine is an energy. Can we make use of this in our daily life? This is the question put before them. Can we make use of it? Let us not talk about the moksha or atma sakshatkara, etc. Because every nation, every country, even today, is conducting the research and development. What is that research and development? Is about the energy, the powers, that is, it may be solar energy, it may be atomic energy, it may be hydro energy, it may be wind energy, it may be earthquake energy, and so many types. Every nation is putting their hard efforts, they are doing the research 24/7. If one nation stop doing this research for 1 hour, it will go at least 1 year behind all other countries. And that is the speed the world is moving in this research of this power. And the latest of that invention is the artificial intelligence AI. It's moving like that. You do not know. AI will be sustained. It will be something more after 2 or 3 years. Even this may be crashed. Still more thing. This is all because of in search of the power, how best we can make use of the physical powers in our daily life. But one nation long back, and 1,000 of years back, stood and showed to the whole world, just they did not say, but shown to the whole world that there is one more power which is the source of all other powers, which can also be made use for the welfare of the mankind. And the nation which showed to the whole world that there is one more form of energy called the divine power, which is the source of all other powers, can also made use for the welfare of the mankind. That nation is our Bharat, our great Bharat or India. That is why India is called the Vishwaguru. Just does not mean that it has given Bhagavad Gita, Brahma Sutra or Upanishad, it is Vishwaguru. No, it is the country which has shown to the world, even today also, it had shown to the world that there is one more power called the divine power, which can also be made use for the welfare of the mankind. This search had gone long years back, but totally we have forgotten. The tragedy is that We are not aware of that at all. That's the tragedy of we people. We believe all other things, but we do not believe on the power which we are having. I will quote one or two examples so that you can able to understand how these experiments were taken place. And there is one Veda exclusively for this, that is called as the Atharvana Veda, which represent all these types of experiments. They conducted actually the experiments. Only the successful, which had given the successful, they have given to the humankind. To quote you an example, you can understand it better. Earlier days also there used to be war. How the war was fought then? There was no missiles or rockets or nuclear weapons like that. The most important one was the arrow and the bow. That was the important instrument, the war instrument they used to have. What is that arrow? It's just a metal rod of this length. There used to be a triangle in front. They used to shoot with a bow. What it would have done? It could have pierced some person and some person might have got injured. Is that way they were conducting the war? No. They were not conducting the war like that. They used to set the bow with the arrow before shooting. They used to chant Agni mantra and enforce the Agni power to that arrow and used to shoot it. Then it would have become Agnastra. Means to say, you can convert the divine power into the physical power and do it. This is the greatest contribution of India to the world. The same arrow, you call it as arrow, a rod. If you chant Varuna mantra and you could able to enforce the Varuna energy and shoot it, then it would have become Varunastra. Similarly, if you could able to enforce by chanting Subramanya, then it would have become Nagastra. And there is so many experiments they were doing that. They were experts in that. They were experts. And you might have read, and you might have heard. I hope, definitely you have not read. You might have heard. That was the caliber, the Shabdavedi mantra, what is there. They, by not looking at an animal, just by hearing to its sound or the footstep, they used to shoot it from this place. That all because of that, how divine power can be made use for the welfare of the mankind. It is the greatest contribution of our Bharat. But over a period of time, we lost the track for that. How we lost the track, I don't want to go into the history. But the truth is that the British were ruling us. And one person by name Macaulay had come to India. And he declared that if you could able to change the education system in India, then only we can control them. That was there. Until then, the Gurukula system was there. Then he introduced, you all know that it is in the history, it is not a new thing. What Macaulay has done, he introduced the modern education system. When he introduced the modern education system, the system of Gurukula went and we all came towards the physics, chemistry, biology and all other sociology, political science. We forgot all these divine aspects. That's the tragedy that is there. But the truth is that we the Indians always believe the divine power. It is not just we believe, we know how it acts, how we can make use of it at the time of rescuing ourselves from various aspects. And as far as me is concerned, my spiritual practice was under my Guru, Shri Swami Virijananda Saraswati, for the past 30 years, almost 30 years. I had prayed my Swamiji, my Guru, that I don't want to have darshan of Jagannatha, or I am not in favor of getting sakshatkar of Jagannatha. I requested him one thing when I met him. If the God is so powerful, if Jagannatha is so powerful, please teach me how best we can make use the same in our daily life. That's all what I want. Actually, he taught me all those things. And actually, since childhood also, I used to follow three, and he showed me three deities in my life. That is Sri Ramakrishna Paramanta, Sri Mata Sharda Devi, and also Swami Vivekananda, who is leading me till now. And they are actually the deities for me who are leading in my life. It is. Before I conclude, let us pray. Let us pray Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, the great soul, which has shown to the whole world that God is not just an idol of worship, it's a responding entity. That's the main factor we have taken during our journey for these things. When we have started putting into practices, where just 4.5 years back, we are having more than 10 lakh devotees all over the world. Because not one or two or thousands, lakhs of people are experiencing what is that divine power, how it can make you through in our daily life. It is being conducted through WhatsApp groups. We are having more than 10 lakhs in that WhatsApp group, and the systematic and most divine 50 group admins are there to monitor, and everything is systematic, and it goes going on. You cannot imagine such things are happening. You cannot imagine. I myself feels many times whether it is possible, how it is possible, how it is all taking place. And you call it as miracles, but I don't want to use the word miracles, but I used to say always it is the Leela of the Jagannath. But the fact remains, they say, boy, whatever you call it, but it remains. Then it is only Swami Virajananda who has given me three deities, that is Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, Srimata Sharda. It is Ramakrishna Paramahamsa who showed to the whole world that, yeah, God is not a gestal idol of worship. He showed. He has practiced it. Actually, his life story goes, Kamarapukara, a small, a remote village in Bengal, that is there in West Bengal now. It's the story about 150 or 180 years back. There were two great couple, Kshudirama and Chintam, and they were most pious. And the fourth son is the Gadadhara, who later became Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, Kshudirama and Chandramani Devi. Kshudirama, the father, died when Gadadhar was 10 years boy. His elder brother Rameshwar went to Calcutta because to find something to maintain the family. Then he started a Sanskrit Parashakti there at Calcutta, and at the same time, one Rani Rasamani, the most powerful person of the fisherman family, she had built a Kali temple at Dakshineshwara on the banks of the river Ganga, at Dakshineshwara Kali temple. But no Brahmin priest came forward to conduct the worship or the puja of the Kali, because the caste system was very, very powerful at those days. But this Rameshwara, who is the first son of Kshudirama and Chandramani Devi, he has verified the Shastras and also the scriptures. He found, no, I will do it. He came. It's a very nice thing that you have to read, how the life. Then he took this Gadadhara also with him, and he said to the Gadadhara, you do the puja of Kali. When he started worshipping Kali, he was not Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, he was just a Pujari Ramakrishna. But if you would have continued the puja like that only, he would have remained and lost his life as Pujari Ramakrishna. But what happened? When he started doing the puja, worshipping the Kali, after many days, a small question arose in his mind. Who is this Kali? Why I am worshipping her? I am worshipping Kali. Who is this Kali? Whether she is a statue or the power? Who is this? Whether it is the responding entity or just an idol of worship? If Kali is really an idol, then why should I worship? This question came to his mind. The question grew, and a lot. His mind was fully went. Who is this Kali? Who is this Kali? He started asking, "Oh Kali, I am worshipping you. You tell me who you are. Are you just an idol or a responding entity? Who are you then? If you are just an idol, then why should I worship you?" This one question turned the life of Pujari Ramakrishna. He became Ramakrishna Paramahamsa just by putting one question: who are you, Kali? Whether you are an idol or a responding entity. That's how it became Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. The whole story goes. Let us pray Ramakrishna Paramahamsa and also Srimata Sharda Devi and Vivekananda. Sit straight and pray them. Om Stapakaya cha dharmasya sarvadharma swarupine avatara varishtaya Ramakrishnaya te namaha. Stapakaya cha dharmasya sarvadharma swarupine avatara varishtaya Ramakrishnaya te namaha. Srimata Sharda Devi, who is the manifestation of the pure love, and she who had given, she showed to the whole world that you can win the world not by your swords or not even by your pens, but you can win the whole world, the universe, by your pure love. That is what she has shown to the whole world. Let us pray Srimata Sharda Devi. Pavitram charitam yasyaha pavitram jivanam tata pavitrata swarupinyai tasmai kurmo namo namaha. Pavitram charitam yasyaha pavitram jivanam tata pavitrata swarupinyai tasmai kurmo namo namaha. Sarvamangala mangalye Shive sarvartha sadhike Sharanye Trayambake Gauri Narayani Namostute. Let us praise Swami Vivekananda. Namashiyati Rajaya Vivekananda Suraye Satchisuka Swarupaya Swamine Tapaharine. Namashiyati Rajaya Vivekananda Suraye Satchisuka Swarupaya Swamine Tapaharine. I want to conclude my words by answering one question which might have arisen in your mind. I said, you call it as miracles, not one or two or thousand or lakhs. How it is happening? What appaji is doing for that? That may be your question. If it is not there in your mind, I used to put that question in your mind, because you have to have that question so that I can answer it. Because otherwise, all other things looks like a story, but you should know the realities. Then only you can understand it, what it is, and also you can know what the divine power is also. It is the words of Sri Swami Vivekananda, which I wanted to put into practice and practically test what are his words or the quotes. I have, after my long spiritual practices for the 30 years, I wanted to see the practicality of the three quotes of Swami Vivekananda. There was in my mind whether these quotes are very nice, whether it is true or it is only for the quotes for pray. Is it true? Is it real? Let me start testing it. Actually, When I started testing his codes, then only I could able to understand what it is really, and I felt and found practically to experience it that it is not just the codes, it is the realities. Swami Vivekananda says, Shunvantu Vishve Amrutasya Putraha Shunvantu Vishve Amrutasya Putraha. O Amruta Putras, you just hear to me. There is no guarantee that you will be born as human being in your next birth. This is what he says. There is no guarantee for any of us that will be born as human beings in our next birth. That is what he says. There is no guarantee that you will be born as human beings in your next birth. Then what we have to do in this life? That's the truth. Then what we have to do in this life? Then he says only two other lines. He never uttered that we should give Atma Sakshatkara. He never uttered we should get Bhagavat Sakshatkara. He never said that we should get salvation. He never said that we should become realized soul by realizing who am I. Never he told any such thing. That is why I like him a lot. That is why I am following him. He never said any such of things. He again, after saying that there is no guarantee that you will be born as human being in your next birth, he had uttered only another two lines. That is actually what is my life that is being going on. He says, each soul is potentially divine. That is the truth. Each soul is potentially divine. It is not that one or other. Each soul, every one of us have the divine power within ourselves. It is not just appaji has. It is not that some guru had that. No. Each soul is potent. Whoever you or she may be, whatever may be your condition, whatever may be your situation, where you are nothing doing, each soul is potentially divine. You are having, every one of us, irrespective of anything, we are having the divine power within us. Each soul is potentially divine. What he declares. Then what we have to do? Then the lastly he says, invoke the divinity in each soul, and that is the purpose of life. That's all. What is the purpose of life? There is divinity within you. Invoke the divinity in each soul, and that's the purpose of life. We have to invoke the divinity that is there within ourselves. That is what Appaji is trying to do through the WhatsApp groups. Without your knowledge, I am invoking the divine power within you. I am not doing anything. I am not such a person. Or I am not having that capacity, but my Guru has taught me how to invoke the divinity of your soul. If you are following my group, you don't do anything puja or mantra japa or something. You just go on hearing to my words, that's all. Without your knowledge, the divine power starts invoke yourself. That it happens. When the divine power within you starts invoking, all good things to happen it starts happening in your life. That is why when some good things starts happening, it is not one. The series of good things happens. Because if the miracle is the truth, only one could have happened. But it is not true. Because once the divinity within you is invoked, then many good things starts happening. That is how we have started doing all these things. Because I wanted to put it into practice whether it is true or not. Whether it's just a quote or is it practicable, that I wanted to know. When I started doing this about 4.5 years back, astonishing, unbelievable things has started. And this is how the divine is the power, where the divine is there, not in any idol, not at the heaven. It is there within you only. It is there. As you think, you are not just a body. You are not just a body having something, but you are the divine. That is there. Everything is there. within you only. If you could do anything, you cannot do anything outside. If you can do anything, you can do it within yourself. Actually, the outer world is the reflection of the world you are having inside. That is what Kathopanishad says. Yama says in the Kathopanishad to the Nachiketa the same thing, that there are two skies, that is Akashas, that is the space. The one is Bahyakasha, the external one, and the another one is internal one. It is called as the Chidakasha. This is Chidakasha, and that is Bahyakasha. And Chidakasha, this Chidakasha is greater than the Bahyakasha. He declares, the Yama declares in the Kathopanishad like that. If you could able to something, you start doing within yourself. That is only, outer world is just a reflection of what there it is in your heart. Actually it is there. These are the great words of our Upanishad or the Vedas. They are called as Mahavakya, Shruti Mahavakya. Shruti means not you, it is Veda. Shruti Mahavakya. It says, goes on saying the same thing. The ultimate, what you have to be, what you are, that is what Upanishad says. My time is over, I should not continue. What the Upanishad also says, you are not what you are thinking, you are not what you have assumed yourself, you are not that. What you think that you are something different. What is that? What then who am I? This is Upanishad, and Shruti Vakya says, Tattvamasi, Tattvam-asi. That is, you are in search of that, the power or the divine, you are that. Tattvam-asi, you are that one. What is that? Which you are searching for, you are searching all around, but you are that. That is what the Tattvamasi says. It says, Aham Brahmasmi. Brahma, you know that the spiritual teachings goes. Where is Brahman? It is Aham Brahmasmi. Ayam Atma Brahma. These are all called the Shruti Mahavakyas. Sarvam Kalvidham Brahma. Everything is that. Whether it is for the spiritual field or the materialistic field, the concept and the theory and also the track is one and the same. They are not two different things. Actually, there are no two things like materialistic life and the spiritual life. There is no two life for us. We are having only one life. It has both materialistic and the spiritual. We have to do with the same. That is called as Iha and Para we have to do. And finally, we want to represent that highest power in one way or the other. And the highest representation is the Durga. Durga Durgati Nashini. Durga Durgati Nashini. Who is that Durga? Who is that Durga? It is not one who is sitting on a lion or a tiger. It's only a representation. But whatever Rishis has found, who is Durga? They uttered that. After their tapasyas, as a penance for long years, they found that who is Durga. Durga means Sarvaswarupe Sarveshe Sarvashakti Samanvite Bhayebhyastrahino Devi Durge Devi Namostute. This is what is Durga. Sarvaswarupe Sarve. It is one, that power which is present everywhere, that is omnipresent. And which is, I am looking so many things around me, and that is Durga. Sarvaswarupe Sarveshe. The second one is Sarva Shakti Samanvite. There are so many energies of the power. What I have told, electrical energy, solar energy, wind energy. And there is one which can consolidate all these things. And it is one ultimate from which all others had come. That is Durga. Durga is not just a name and a form. Sarva Shakti Samanvite. Bhayebhyastrahino Devi. That is, then what is my prayer to you? The greatest fear to the human being, each human being is the fear. Every minute we are having fear in mind, our mind. Sometimes we will be aware, sometimes we are not aware at all, but the fear is there. The greatest threat. That is what Krishna also says in Bhagavad Gita. Vitaraga bhaya krodaha. He says that is the bhaya, that is. We might have read in some spiritual scriptures that God or the Guru has given him abhaya. What do you mean by abhaya? Removing the bhaya, the fear is called the abhaya. The greatest threat. Actually, Krishna also confirms the same in Bhagavad Gita. The real reason for all our sorrows in our life is the fear. It creates all sorrows in our sadness and worries in our life. That is the sorrow that is because of the fear. And who is that? That one divine power which removes the fear, it is called as the Durga. Durga, Durgati Nashini. I don't want to explain the meaning of Durga Sukta. Om Jatavedase Sunavavaso Mamarati Yato Nidahati Vedaha Sanah Parshadati Durgani Vishwam Nameva Sindhum Durita Tignihi Tam Agnivarnam Tapasa Jwalanti Mairochanim Karma Paleshu Jushtam Durgam Devi Gum Sharanamaham Prapadye Sutara Sitara Se Namaha Durgye Namaha Durgaye Namaha.